But what I've found more recently, maybe over the last 12 months, it's really hit an inflection point. And so you're now consuming it more, and it can actually be anecdotal. But if I give you some, basic raw data, raw facts, you had a report by Nielsen which came out recently. They said that there was 46 billion minutes viewed of women's sports content in the US alone in 2025.
All right, welcome back inside our proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Othman Shoukat. He is executive chairman of PowerPlay Media. And Othman, it's good to see you. How are you?
Very good, thank you. Hope you're doing well as well, Steve.
Yes, doing very, very well. Thank you. And excited a little bit more about the company. I know you're pre-IPO. It's going to be happening in the next few weeks. So it's an exciting time for the company. Maybe just give us a bit of background on PowerPlay Media.
Yeah, sure. So PowerPlay Media is a sports media IP and live events business. We are focusing on two very high growth verticals, one being women's sports and the other one being combat sports. And the team at the moment, including myself, we have very strong access in specific markets, which we've been focusing on and we've executed there. And we're looking to expand that global distribution reach. But currently, we're present in Asia, Middle East, and Africa through some of the distribution deals that we've already done. And I think, perhaps one of the key and most defining aspects of the business model is very capital light and very scalable, which is part of our value proposition.
Yeah, it's not as if you're taking and producing all of the events, but it's more the rights to the events and where they're shown and how they're shown. Is that really the sort of the secret sauce to all of this?
Absolutely. So for us, it's we have various different media assets. So we have the All Women Sports Network, which is a women's sports channel, which is co-founded by Whoopi Goldberg. It's got investors like Shaquille O'Neal involved. And so we will take that media asset and we will distribute it across the globe. So currently we've done a partnership with SuperSport. We've done one in the Middle East with MBC, which is the largest media platform across the MENA region. And then the idea would be to expand it in other territories globally. But again, it's very capital light because we're not producing anything additional. We're just extending the geographical reach for that. And then linked to that, we're also undertaking women's focused sports events and festivals attached to that IP. So we'll have on-ground activations as opposed to also having a TV product as well. So it gives us two aspects of the value proposition, but helps to drive audience to the television channel, but also helps build up ecosystems and grassroots, which is really, really important for some of the sports leagues we work with because they want both aspects.
Yeah, I have a strong background in sports and television, and I don't think I've ever seen more of a time for getting into women's sports and supporting women's sports than we've seen now. Would you agree with that? I mean, it's just all over North America and then all over the world. It's growing by leaps and bounds.
Absolutely. I mean, you mentioned a really, really valid point because we've been doing this for the last few years. But what I've found more recently, maybe over the last 12 months, it's really hit an inflection point. And so you're now consuming it more, and it can actually be anecdotal. But if I give you some, basic raw data, raw facts, you had a report by Nielsen which came out recently. They said that there was 46 billion minutes viewed of women's sports content in the US alone in 2025. They also mentioned that women's football will be the fifth largest sport globally by 2030, with a fan base of 800 million people. And in other research, there's suggestions that by 2028, 75% of household expenditure will be controlled by women. So you bring all of these elements together, and actually the macro fundamentals for women's sports for the next, 5 to 10 to 15 years is really, really positive. So I 100% agree with you. And I think part of why we're doing this is we see a massive opportunity within women's sports, and we're well positioned to leverage off that.
Yeah, it's super entertaining to watch as well. And yeah, you're already, I mentioned your pre-IPO, but you're already targeting in your first year somewhere between 11 and $12 million in revenue. So you're obviously seeing the positivity moving forward. Do you look at specific markets or specific areas of the world that are really key to continue that growth moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's very much a global phenomenon at the moment. I think where we are currently positioned, we're present with the All Women's Sports Network in something like 60 countries. We've overseen about 40 of those countries. So where we see the big opportunity is markets like the Middle East with multinational brands. And it comes back to the point I mentioned just now is household spend and the actual sponsorship dollars that a lot of brands are looking to invest. Women's sports addresses a lot of their objectives in terms of ROI on marketing spend, etc. So I think that's where we're seeing a lot of traction at the moment. But we have the platforms already contracted partners. So we're now speaking with various different sponsorship partners, advertisement partners to bring that revenue in. But yeah, the opportunity is phenomenal. And I think globally, it's a huge market. But for us at the moment, it's converting what we have, in these respective markets and then building on that. And we have conversations going on in the UK, we have conversations going on in Europe, Middle East, and Africa.
Exciting times ahead, it sounds like. Othman, thank you so much. Really interesting to find out what you're up to. I love the concept, and we look forward to following your story as it develops. Okay.
Thank you very much for your time, Steve.
Awesome. Good to
Appreciate it.
see you. There's Othman Shoukat. He's the executive chairman of PowerPlay Media.